Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for Grow My Bag TV. Wanted to do an extra show today. Just happened to be looking at things, wanted to pay attention, and because I was making moves, I figured, might as well shoot a video, right? So here's the deal. Earlier today, one of my subscribers called out that he saw Scale on my list and thought that was a good idea. I had no idea what he was talking about. Scale was not on my radar, not something I was paying attention to. And then I started doing my evening research and that kind of thing. Saw his note again and said, you know what? Let me take a look. You know what I mean? Let me take a look. So I took a look at Scale. Matter of fact, I'm talking to you. Let me show you some numbers that I came across. So here's Scale. Okay, Scale is ranked number 144, right, by market cap. Now, I was looking at Scale and I said, well, it's not normally something I would follow, except it's on my top 25, moving at 19%, right above something I am paying attention to, which is a star, right? Scale makes me want to look. Well, the gentleman said, hey, you should take a look at this. And I said, all right, I'll take a look at it. And what's interesting about Scale is what they're trying to do. Did you see that? Right here. Zero gas fees. EVM compatible, zero gas fees. Interesting. Now I'm interested, right? Now you've got me, right? I don't know if they are the fastest out there. They're claiming that, they're the world's fastest blockchain. Know nothing about that. But I do like what they're doing. I like how they're moving thus far. They're saying, we've got great technology, leverage our technology. They have partners, they have dApps, they're growing their NFT space. So they are taking steps. So that means they're not starting out as some kind of a meme coin. They're starting out trying to do something serious. And they're trading just below, their market cap is just below 500 million. Actually, let's go back to my list. There you go. So I'm sorry. Yeah, 500 million. So look at that. Do you see that? That's a big deal to me because, I kind of, everybody kind of separates out, what they're looking at. You've got things that are under 100 million, under 500 million, under a billion to 2 billion, and then beyond 2 billion. At least that's how I look at it. And looking at this, I'm sitting back and I'm going, damn, something else that interests me. They're a mover. At where they are right now, they're still 93% off of their all-time high, which was $1.22, right? And you sit there and you kind of go, damn, $1.22, that's, well, sheesh. Look at where they are now. Very interesting. It is now on my list of things to actually pay attention to. Who knew? This is why I like the conversation. Some conversations are happening on Grow My Bag TV, where I prefer to have the conversations, and then conversations happen, where I sometimes drop my videos on YouTube, wherever. And that is very interesting. So thank you very much for calling that to my attention, because another one of my friends called a star to my attention. I'm not gonna say whether or not I bought into it just yet, but he did call it to my attention a while ago, which is why I started following it. I follow it because of Toyota, and I did a video about that, a while back, so you can go back and find that and dig into it. But a star is definitely on my list to pay attention to. But look who else is down, though. I mean, like I said, I have my 5% rule. If you're down only 5%. I will make note, but I'm really not going to pay that much attention to it. It's above 5% that I pay attention to. And here you go. So all the way down to here, right? So what do you have? Let's see. Who do we have here? This is Synthetics Network, not something I pay attention to. Algorand, I have nothing against Algorand, but I'm not holding any algo. It's pretty fast. It's ranked number 50. Now pay attention to this one. It's ranked number 50. But it's not doing anything. It used to be, ranked higher. So, that's another reason why I'm not paying strong attention to it. Uniswap, 5%. Now you start to go, well, Helium is down 6%. But why is that? Well, remember, helium was riding high, so the change is profit taking. It's got to be profit taking. Kusama, not something I'm really paying attention to, down 6%. Bonk, definitely not something I'm putting my hands on, down 6%. If you like Bonk, this could be a buying opportunity for you. Optimism is down 7%. To me, that's a buying opportunity. Sushi is down 7%. Injective is down 6%. Celestia is down 6%. Celestia is another one of those that I'm not putting my hands on, but I do pay attention to. Corgi AI, yeah, nah. As a technologist that deals in this kind of stuff, deals in automation, artificial intelligence, Web3, it's really not doing anything for me just yet. But I do pay attention to it. Why? Because it's above 500 million in terms of market cap. That's why I pay attention to it. Here's what I'm also doing. So right now, because we're at the beginning of the year, I'm paying attention to not just the intraday and the 24 hours, but I'm also keying in on year to date and 90 day, right? Because 90 days takes me back and year to date takes me right here, but I'm keying in on that year to date. And when I look at year to date, I'm like, oh, okay, what's the percentage? Well, Bitcoin is not doing too poorly. Sorry about that. Didn't put that up there. There you go. Now you can see my ugly face. Let me take that off my face. I do that a lot. There you go. So looking at this, I'm saying to myself, well, let's just line them all up year to date. All right. This is all the coins. This is all the coins that are out there, and that coin market cap has. So a star, 20% mover year to date. It's been a couple of days and it's a 20% mover. Maker, not something I'm messing with. Conflux, never heard of it, not touching it. Internet computer, I've heard of it, just not playing with it. Sui, something I'm starting to do research on, so it's landing on the radar, up 17%. Hedera, one of my friends, Nick, had told me about Hedera a year and a half ago, something like that. And I said, I'm not going to put a lot of money into this. I'm just going to put it in there and just set it and forget it. So I dropped $500 on it. And it didn't do anything. All of a sudden, I'm up. All of a sudden, I let it sit. I took a big hit on it. And then all of a sudden, it's up. I'm like, oh, not bad. Not bad. Now, here's a comparison for you. I had dropped $500 on Shiba Inu, right? And at one point, Shiba Inu had returned to me $5,000. Now it's obviously way back down again. But I'm sitting back and I'm going, what happens if that happens again? Which I think it will. So I'm just doing DCA right now. So there are two pots that I pull from. One is dollar cost averaging. That's where I have a regular schedule and a regular amount that I dip into to actually buy digital assets. Then I have dry powder. That's that fund that's just there, not for a rainy day for bad things happening, but for a rainy day where I can slide in and make some purchases. And so I've been taking just a little taste out of that and dropping it in. Just saying, because it's not quite a rainy day, but I also suspect that we're going to get phone calls this week about a Bitcoin spot ETF. And I'm expecting Solana to fly. I'm expecting, obviously, Bitcoin to fly. I'm expecting our stronger coins to all of a sudden take off, because that's when people are going to start saying Bitcoin is a good store of value. These other coins actually have purpose and they do things. They have real use cases. And I think that's how it's all going to happen. Then you have the halving event. You have all the other things that happen later on this year. And that's what I'm expecting. The stock market, as far as that goes, they're expecting there to be a three-time drop, right? They're expecting the Fed to drop the rates 3 times this year. Maybe. It's highly possible. It's highly possible, right? But when I look at crypto, I'm like, well, if that happens, somebody, Pomp was on, I think, Fox, talking about how they might even do quantitative easing this year, later this year. I'm like, I'm not a fan of that, but I am a fan of this. And whatever is going to affect my investments, whether it be my businesses, my stocks, my bonds, options, crypto, that's what I'm paying attention to. Something that I do agree with him about is I'm not going to, I'm not going to necessarily buy stock in one of the firms that has a Bitcoin spot ETF. And a lot of people are wondering, why wouldn't I do that? I wouldn't do that because I'm going to either invest in the ETF, which is indirectly owning Bitcoin. You don't own the Bitcoin, you own a share or you own a portion of the ETF, right? So it's indirect exposure to that space, meaning I don't have to worry about memorizing keys, all that stuff. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. That's for the, people that don't want to play with that kind of stuff. But I'm going to invest in Bitcoin directly. The stocks that I would play around with are going to be the stocks that are directly related to Bitcoin. Companies that are making direct investments like MicroStrategy, companies that are doing mining like Hut 8, Riot, the rest of them, companies that are publicly traded exchanges like Coinbase. I'm going to invest in those as far as stocks are concerned. As far as crypto is concerned, I'm one of those people. Not your keys, not your crypto. I want to be able to hold on to my crypto. I like that. So I'm going to buy crypto directly. If you're one of those people that doesn't like to hold crypto, that doesn't want to, muck around with wallets and keys and, all that stuff, doing the Bitcoin spot ETF is a good way to handle it. I want you to think about what that means and what that impact is. It means that you're going to have a lot of money going in because it's easier to get involved in a Bitcoin spot ETF than it would be to get involved in crypto. Unless you're smart enough to use Cash App and one of these other apps where you can literally sit there and on the app that you're using every day, boop, buy Bitcoin. Just saying, you could do that. But that's where I'm at right now. But I wanted to hop on real quick just to give you an idea about what I'm looking at, what's on my list right now. And this is one of the analyses that I perform, which is, year to date, who's moving and who's not. A star up 20% year to date. Let me see. There was another one I was paying attention to. Hedera HGraph, 13.18%. Today's the second day of the year. Now you know why I'm paying attention, right? A lot of these other coins I don't know because they hit too far down for me to actually be paying attention to. I do pay attention to Near Protocol. I don't hold any, but I do pay attention to it. Aptos, I don't hold any, but I do pay attention to it. And look at that. Look at how it's moving. So all of these coins that are moving in a positive direction, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop where people are going to, skim off profits. So right now, I did pick up some Solana earlier, right? I wanted to pick up Solana because Solana, let me go back to the regular list and I'll be able to. Solana right now is basically neck and neck year to date with Bitcoin. So here's Bitcoin at 6% and here's Solana at 5.38. A little while ago, literally, it was like 6.08 and 6.01. So that's why I'm paying attention to it, because it has the potential of outperforming Bitcoin. If you look at last year, it did outperform Bitcoin. See what I'm saying? There were a lot of coins that outperformed Bitcoin. It's just that everybody's keyed in on this thing that's not a security, right? It's been deemed to not be a security that everybody's paying attention to. And because they're paying attention to that, they're not necessarily paying attention to everything else. And this is how things move. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for Grow My Bag TV. Hope you enjoy what I'm doing. And as always, if you like what I'm doing, drop me a note, let me know. And even more importantly, if you don't like what I'm doing, drop me a note and tell me how I can make it better for you, right? I started this whole video series to teach my kids without being in their face. That way they can watch these videos and get ideas and all that kind of stuff without having to listen to dad ramble and all that other good stuff. So if I can do something to make it better and more enjoyable for you, let me know. I would love to improve. That's just me. Anyway, Eddie J on Crypto for Grow My Bag TV. Hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.